Okay, this is my Zenith. It's a 1941 6D525. They call it the toaster radio because of the cabinet. But I got the chassis out of it. Man, it had a lot of dust. It wasn't grungy as far as getting wet and nasty. It just had a lot of dust in it. So anyway, it's just sitting here, and there's right next to the speaker. It's super quiet. This is an original radio except for the volume knob and the cord is replaced. It was done before I got it, and somebody had done a crappy repair on the speaker, so it was still rattling. So anyway, I cleared off most everything they had put on, and it's like a very fine fiberglass mesh. So it's impregnated with rubber cement and applied to the cone, and it keeps it from rattling, and it sounds pretty good, as you'll hear in just a second. It was operating, but it was kind of funky and making kind of a buzzing noise, and the 12SK7 had a dead section in it, and then the two, I think it's diode parts of the tube, they were testing weak. So it had a tube that was pretty much completely gone, and it was still operating. But it sounds so much better now.
356-4282. Xander will guide you through the whole thing.
I do have a fluorescent light on up above my head, so further down on the dial it'll buzz when it gets into it, but I'll probably turn it off. But it's got good separation. This is really this is an early All-American 5. But here in Kentucky, it's where AM signals go to die. You don't find a whole bunch here, so. It's got its original knobs, and the finish on the cabinet is original, and it's in really amazing shape. The only thing, it's missing the cardboard back, but you can buy those as reproductions. I'd probably just go ahead and make my own. There's a whole bunch of different stuff in here that can cause buzzing. So.
They're selling them to a distributor like a Cardinal Health or a McKesson. They then in turn sell to Walgreens or CVS, which then sells.
I've gotten most of the rattle out of that speaker. I'm really happy with how it came out. I'm really happy I found that fine mesh. I used to use tissue that would come in shirts, but I didn't find any of that, and I found this is like for a pattern, and I don't know if it reinforces the cloth underneath it or what, but it does great on speaker repair. I'll be using it over and over again.
Kitchen. Seaworth's been wonderful. Sonic Clark has really put together every package, been at our beck and call for all of our service needs.
I'm Christy Eckerline with the Kentucky Castle. Scott and
a nice, mostly original radio that sounds good, pickups good,
supplies that we need in a timely
and
manner. When I walk in,
with having all old capacitors in it, not making any noise, that's something special. They're only original ones. But like any old radio, don't leave them unattended. If you're done with them, unplug them. I don't care if you fixed them or not. That's how I usually do it. I've got this Zenith sitting over there, and it's never plugged in unless I'm listening to it. But as you can, I'm in the middle of a quilt, so this is my room for doing stuff. There's the Pilot 602 I'm working on. I forgot to order the 0.1 capacitor, so I'm waiting on that. Mostly Illinois, got a few orange drop, but I don't think they're in any place that's going to affect the signal. but they're going to be probably 80% Illinois caps. But I got a feeling I'm going to have to replace the cans on this. So, God, I hate that. Those are not cheap. So, but it's already a really good sounding receiver. I've had one before, and it was actually one of the best receiver amps I've ever had. I had a Scott that was a 6B25, and that's what this Pilot is. It didn't sound any better than this receiver, and it was an integrated. So I'm hoping that'll be a dandy. Alrighty, but now what we're talking about here is a 6D525 radio. It's a great radio. I'll get some pictures of it with the cabinet on it, and it'll be offered up for sale.
No obligations and no commitments to buy.